Good evening, folks. Welcome to Friday Waffle. Oh, attempt to navigate out of here. Honestly, God, see this street. Everybody double parks. Okay, motorbikes, vans, cars. And the thing is, there's parking bays. There's a parking bay there. There's two parking bays there. There's another two parking bays. There's parking bays all over the place. But people don't want to, they don't want to have to walk the 10 yards to the front door. Hence the reason they just park wherever they bloody want. Anyway, I should stop moaning. It's Friday, the sun is out. Yes, life could not be any better. Yeah, I hope you're all fine. I hope you're all fine. I'm all right. I'm okay. I mean, I'll tell you one thing, that having weather like this just makes it so much better. It really, really, really does. You know, when it's shit weather, it's cold, it's wet, it's just miserable. Really, really is. But when it's like this, even if you're having a shit time, having nice weather when it's sunny, it does make a difference. It really, really does. So before I start, I've got to hopefully, fingers crossed, you can hear the better sound quality. You're not going to. The content is just as shit, but hopefully it's going to be clearer. The actual audio is going to be clearer with less. I'm trying to adjust that if I can. Nah, it's not playing ball. With less kind of better quality sound. Now, thank you very much to Del Boy. He very, very kindly gifted me this little wireless microphone thing. I did have a bit of bother getting it working to begin with, but I tried it and it definitely seems better. So hopefully the audio is crystal clear. Yeah, what a day, honestly. It's beautiful. I'll tell you, if you've been watching many of my driving waffles, you'll know how we get to my girlfriend's house. Honestly, I shouldn't be sharing shit like this with you guys. In the wrong gear there. So anyway, yeah. How's my week been? What was I doing on Monday? Did I do a live stream on Monday? Or did I do a live stream on Sunday? I can't actually remember. Was it playing Sensi Soccer? I can't remember. I think I might have done a video of some sort on Monday. Can't remember what it was. Yeah, I did actually. I'll tell you what I did on Monday. I went through to see a friend of the channel. I'll not tell you who it is because it's nobody's business. But yeah, one of the lads, excuse me, that watches my channel regularly, fellow Scots bloke, probably gives it away. He bought my Pi 400 off me. Now I was gibbering about how good the Pi 500 is, and to be honest, the Pi 400 is just as good. It's slightly slower, but as far as doing what he wants it to do, in other words, playing emulating an Amiga using Pi Amiga, it's fantastic. It really, really is. So yeah, I went through to see him on. I met him at McDonald's through in Glasgow on Monday night. And then, yeah, I think when I got back, I played a bit of Sensi Soccer. I'm sure I did that. And then, the usual, I go to Swindon every month. Fly down, stay over, and then fly back. So I went down on Tuesday, got an early start, and then I was. To be fair, the hotel they put you in is pretty nice. It's I wouldn't say it's a luxury hotel, but it's nicer than like a travel lodge Premier Inn. It's pretty nice. The food, can't say the food, whilst nice, there's not a massive choice. There's maybe about, I don't know, maybe 10 choices, and there's only a couple of things that I ever want to get, so I technically stick to the same food. It's busy tonight. It's always busy at this time of night, Friday night. So yeah, I was in the hotel in Tuesday night. Drove, flew down Tuesday morning. Got to my work about 12 o'clock, I think it was. And then at night time, got to the hotel. Went down. They've got a gym. They've actually got a swimming pool and a jacuzzi and all that. Have they got a jacuzzi? No, they've not got a jacuzzi. They've got a steam room and a sauna, which I normally love. Normally, if there's a chance of getting a sauna, I'm there. But since it's so bloody warm, I thought I can't be bothered with that. So I was went to the gym for about half an hour, and then came up, had a shower, and then got changed, and then I went down to. I want to try and fix this. That's annoying me. Tell me that's made that worse. Oh Christ! That'll have to do. I'll be editing it anyway, sticking outrun car on, so you don't even notice it. So went to the gym, and then came back to my room, just kind of chilled out. Actually, I was telling the person that bought my Pi 400, I said I should have actually taken my Pi 500 down with me. I could have plugged it in the TV and played some video games. But I forgot to take it. So I just lay in the bed, and I can't remember what the hell I was watching shite. In fact, if I remember right, I fell asleep, woke up at 10 o'clock, and I thought, you know what, I'll just get ready for my bed. So that's what I did. I was in bed for pretty early. And then, back out to work on one of the girls picked me up Wednesday morning. Pretty busy at work. And then I flew home, got picked up at 3 o'clock from the office. And then it's a drive, it's about an hour and a half drive to Bristol Airport. And I want to get there early because there's been a couple of times where traffic's been pretty bad, and it's been kind of, I wouldn't say touch and go, but I'm like, bloody hell, I might miss my flight. So I thought, stuff that, I want to make sure I get there in plenty of time. So I get there about 4:30, and my flight's not till 8 o'clock, so there is plenty of time for just kind of sitting about. So I treated myself to a pepperoni pizza from Frankie and Benny's, and then just sat about, and then I paid a stupid amount of money for a bottle of water and a chocolate bar from W. Smith. If you think you're rich, try going to an airport and buying chocolate or crisps. Honestly, you'll pay like, I think it's about £2.50 for a bar of chocolate, and ordinarily there's no way I would pay that kind of money. It's daily robbery, but I was particularly peckish, so I did. So I didn't get in. Got in got into Edinburgh. It's about 9:15, I think it was, and by the time I got home, found my car. Got home, it was about 10 o'clock. So a rather interesting thing happened at my work. Unfortunately, there's been, I mentioned about my boss leaving the company, but there's been a few senior managers who've been there a long time. They're no longer with the company, all quite unexpected. So one of the managers had an all-electric car, and so when I was in the office on Tuesday, the director said to me, "Oh, you know that blah has left." I went, "Yeah, I heard that." And he's like, "Do you want a car?" And I'm like, "All right." Now, you probably know, if you listen to my waffles at all, you'll probably know that I was involved in a slight accident a few months ago, where I parked the car, and for whatever reason, the handbrake didn't engage, and the car rolled back, took down my fence, and crashed into my house. It sounds a bit overly dramatic, crashed, but it did crash. It was only about 5 miles an hour, but enough to cause a bit of damage. So then they gave me, because that car was then written off, they gave me the car that I'm in at the moment, which is a nice car, but the problem is, because it's all petrol, it costs an absolute arm and a leg in tax. Really, really does. Serious amount of money. Even though this car that I'm in just now isn't as nice as the other car, this one costs, I wouldn't say it's double, but it costs considerably more in money, which I wasn't massively happy about getting this car, but considering what happened to the other one, I couldn't really argue. So anyway, the director said, "Do you want this other car?" So it's fully electric. I mean, it's a lovely looking car. I had a quick look at it. So I have to drive down to Swindon on Monday, all 370 odd miles. Drive down. I'm going to stay overnight in a hotel, and then pop into the office, pick up the new car, and then drive back up the road. So in 2 days I'll have done 1,500 miles. And I don't mind. I mean, I used to do a lot of driving in previous jobs, so it doesn't really faze me. There's a lot of people hate driving like 200 miles, even 100 miles to some people is like, oh my god, that's far too much. But I'm used to it. I used to drive. I mean, there was times, and I wouldn't say it was big nor clever. There was times where I would drive down to Leeds from where I stay and back again in one day, and that would be about 700 miles. Maybe not quite as much as that. All in. I'm saying 1,500 miles. I'm talking bollocks. It's 370 miles, so times 2, 6, 740 miles. But yeah, I would drive to Leeds and back in a day, and you're probably doing about 600 miles, and it's not ideal. It's not recommended because you need to keep your wits about you. So you can get tired. But what I'll generally do when I'm coming back up the road, if I'm feeling tired, I'll stop for 15 minutes, have a little power nap, and sometimes just that 15 minutes takes the edge off your tiredness. Maybe get a can of Red Bull. Never drink that stuff ever, apart from if I'm driving a long distance and I'm maybe feeling a bit tired. That can sometimes just give you a wee boost to keep you awake. So yeah, that's where I'm going to be Monday, Tuesday. This weekend I'm going to my girlfriend's house. I think we've got a couple of friends are coming over on Saturday night. Yeah, just nothing massively exciting. I meant to say this week, my daughter was away to visit a friend, in inverted commas, we'll leave it at that, in Amsterdam, and she was supposed to be away for 2 weeks, but she was feeling homesick, so she booked an earlier flight, so I picked her up from Edinburgh Airport yesterday. So she's back in the house again. So when I'm doing a live stream and you hear a bit of noise, you'll know what it is. It's been great having peace and quiet. The dogs have been away at my sister's since Monday, so it's been no dogs, no Eva. Fantastic. House to myself. Great. Apart from a huge spider that resides in my bedroom, in my living room. It's funny, the bedroom is the only place, if there's a spider anywhere in my house, I just leave it alone. I used to put them out. Now I think to myself, you know what, they don't do any harm, they keep my house tidy. And they'll come out for a wee while and then they'll disappear. They'll scuttle back to her for whatever they came, But if I had a big spider in my bedroom, I would probably rehouse it outside. Never kill anything like that at all. Just put them in a wee jar or a cup and then chuck them outside. But I've got this rather large bastard in my living room. He was there for a couple of days. I noticed he's disappeared, so he's probably hiding under my bed or under my bed covers or something like that. I don't know, but I don't mind them. Actually, quite attached to spider. But anyway, so yeah, that was that. So Ava's back home. Waiting my girlfriends this weekend. Monday, Tuesday next week. I'm going to be down in Swindon getting the other car. So that's kind of been it. I've been playing quite a bit of Sensei Soccer. I'm saying quite a bit. I've been playing a wee bit. Sensei Soccer, as you probably know, I've been getting back into it. It's a lot harder than I remember it. Maybe not. It's just I think I was playing it that often. I was getting better at it. Now I've got to say, I always found the one that I played most of all was Sensible Soccer. Obviously, there was different versions. I think there was a 95, 96 World Cup edition, whatever it was. There was different versions of the game. And then they brought out World of Sensible Soccer, which introduces like a career mode and, you know, tens of thousands of teams. And they definitely tweaked the gameplay slightly. They definitely made it harder, I think. So yeah, I've been playing that for a couple of weeks. Not doing very well. I think I've maybe played 18 games. I was playing it last night. Played about 18 games. I think I've won 3. Just struggling to score goals. What I find is, I mean, the keepers, the goalkeepers are computer controlled, and I don't know. I just find, somebody's in a hurry. I just find that your keeper seems to let in goals far easier than the computer team's keepers. But one of my mates was telling me, who's been playing it, it's quite funny because I've got back into it and it's kind of got a couple other guys playing it. That's the thing. That's the wonderful thing about watching people playing games on YouTube. Suddenly it can give you the impetus and the urge to dig out an old game. And that's what's happened with Sensei Soccer. What was I going to talk about? Yeah, one of my mates has been playing. He dug his Amiga out the loft and he's been playing as the same team as me, actually. But he's been doing really well, you know, winning most of his games. So he was telling me last night, actually, because I was playing it for a wee bit last night. He was saying what you need to do is you have to do like a user-defined tactics where you can set the area that the players will run to, will stand. He says, because if you just stick with the default players or default formations and setup, he said, well, what he described it was like playing with one hand tied behind your back. So he very, very kindly sent me multiple screenshots of what I need to do. Is that cheating? I don't know if that's cheating. I don't think it is. You're just using the system. So I'm going to have a look at that when I'm back on Sunday and change it and see if it makes any difference. Don't know if it will. Honestly, I can't believe this has probably been the best sort of run of good weather that I can remember in my lifetime. I mean, we've had probably 3 weeks, and I think it's going to go into next week as well. Then I think towards the end of next week, it's going to start getting a wee bit cooler. But yeah, it's been incredible. You just take it for granted. Coming to your house, nice and sunny, warm. Great, and it's the weather. The weather is the one reason where I don't like about living in the UK, especially Scotland, because Scotland definitely does get it worse weather. There's no such thing as bad weather. It just depends what you want to do. If you're into skiing, then living in a warm country, then it's shit weather. Whereas snowing would be good weather, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I like the nice weather, lighter nights. You can get out, you know, you get home, you've still got another 4 or 5 hours of light. Especially in Scotland, because we're lighter longer. It's darker quicker down in England. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing, what I'm going to be doing next week. What was I going to say? Video game stuff. I managed to sell my ColecoVision, which is great. I had it up for sale. I've had it on eBay and Marketplace for, I reckon, since January. Yeah, since January. And I've had a few kind of people asking, you know, is it still for sale? And you go, yes. how much would you take for it, blah 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 blah. Then you hear no more about it. But I got a message from a guy who again lives fairly close by, through like towards Glasgow. Excuse me. And he was asking about it, and I said, "Yep, it's still for sale." So I took it through, and yeah, managed to sell it, which is great. He's delighted with it. He's got an upscaler thing, which I've heard. I know what an upscaler is, but I've never really seen this point of it. But yeah, apparently it'll make an old crusty kind of blocky system look really nice on a modern TV. So yeah, he sent me a photograph of it plugged into this upscaler thing, and it looks really nice. And I'm not going to mention his name because it's not for me to say, but this guy is actually, he was telling me he's got something like 90 consoles that he's bought. He's got an idea for like a video game shop, not a shop, a video game place, cafe type place, where you can you can go along, play video games, maybe get a snack. It's not going to have a bar as such, but yeah, you can play video games. So he's got a massive number of consoles, and this one, the ColecoVision, was one that he bought to add into the collection. And what he's done is he's actually reached out to myself and Gordon King, who does the Retro Gaming podcast. In fact, thanks to Gordon mentioned that they were talking about the ColecoVision, saying what a great system it was. And the guy that bought the ColecoVision, he was aware of the ColecoVision, but he never really gave it much thought. And after listening to the podcast, Gordon and Kingsley, I think it is, they were talking about how a great system, how it was a system that was essentially overlooked. The Atari 2600 dominated. You had the Intellivision, you had the ColecoVision. The ColecoVision was like a Rolls Royce compared to the VCS, but its price tag was much higher, and so it never really took off. It never got the same coverage that the Atari got. Personally, I think it's down to the absolute woeful joystick. It's got a terrible controller. It's like a remote control for your TV with this handle stuck in the top. It's horrible. It's a horrible controller. But yeah, thanks to the Retro Gaming podcast, this guy bought it, which is good. So yeah, he's reached out to myself, Gordon, and Kingsley? I can't remember. And he's asking us. He's got a massive amount of games, because he's got a good point. What he wants to do is have all these systems set up, ready to play. But what he doesn't want to happen is for somebody to take umbrage with him and say, by the way, report him, saying this guy is charging for people to go in and play games, and he doesn't even own that game. So he said, whilst it would be the easiest thing in the world to go and get EverDrive cartridges, he doesn't want to do that. Or what he said he'll do is he'll have an EverDrive cartridge, but he'll only have the games that he owns the original of, which I think is a wise thing to do. Because you never know what you're getting into. You know, somebody would be a total arsehole and report you for doing that. That's why you can never really have an arcade and use MAME, because obviously you've not got the license to be playing these things. So yeah, he's made a list. He's got an Excel spreadsheet of thousands of games, and he's asked myself and the other lads to kind of go through it and just see, is there any obvious must-have games that you would want to play in one of these things. So I've not had a chance to, because I've been away, I've not had a chance to look at the list yet, but I will do that and get back to him. And I also said to him, I said, look, if I'm not trying to pimp me, but I says, if you wanted to have like an event, like maybe myself, Gordon, whatever, do some kind of YouTube type thing, panel talk, whatever, just something a bit different, you know what I mean? So interesting to see how this goes. He doesn't know where it's going to be yet. I think he would like it to be fairly city centre,
so that obviously guys going to a stag do can pop in for a couple of hours, play some video games. Because if you have it out of town, then it's obviously going to restrict. People aren't going to get public transport to get to it. People may want a beer, and if they can't, if it's out of town, they're going to have to drive. So, yeah, I think location is going to be one of the major considerations. So, yeah, I'll keep you posted on that. That'll be interesting. I don't think there's anything like that. Well, there might be something like that in Glasgow, but I'm not aware of it. There's tons of these things, obviously, down south. But yeah, I think that's that's pretty much all I've got to talk about video games. The only other thing is, I think I mentioned, or I may have not mentioned, I did pre-order a Nintendo Switch 2. In fact, I think I did mention it, and I thought I'd actually paid for it. And I thought, right, that's fine. But then it turns out that I haven't paid for it, and I'm trying to do a bit of cost cutting. I'm just conscious of how much I spend a month. Most of it is my mortgage, my council tax, and my energy bills. That in itself comes to over £1,000. Then you've got your insurances and your broadband and all that kind of shit. But I just thought to myself, I need to kind of look at what I'm spending. So I've cancelled a few things. I've cancelled my Xbox Live account. What's it called again? I can't remember. Game Pass, something like that. I think it's called Game Pass. Yeah, I've cancelled that. If things, if money works out better, then I may get that back again, because that's what I was using to play my games on my Xbox Series X. Having access to all these games. So I've cancelled that. I've cancelled my subscription to the Zap and Crash Minis. I don't read them. I mean, I've got the first 24, 25 of them, and I've read one. And it's not knocking the guys that do the writing, because, I mean, a couple of my mates write for them. It's nothing to do with that. It's the fact that I don't read them. I mean, how many times do you buy something? You buy a gadget. How many? Have a look. The number of people that have bought Spectrum Nexts and never used them. It's just always the same. I'm guilty of that, but it might only be a tenner a month. But I thought, you know what? All I'm doing is the magazine's coming through the letterbox. I'm putting it on a shelf, never looking at it. And it's not like they're ever going to become collectible. People seem to think that anything that's loosely connected to retro games is going to be worth a fortune. That's not the case. So I've got 50 of these little mini mags that I've never read. And what kind of put me off quite a bit as well is discovering that the annuals that you get at Christmas are actually regurgitated information and articles that have already been published. So I've already paid money for a Zap Mini, and then you get the annual which I buy, and it's the same features. If I've got that wrong, please let me know, and I will apologise. But that's what I believe is the case. It's the same information that's in the magazine. So if you subscribe to the mini magazines and you read them, then I would obviously don't waste money buying the annual, because there's nothing new to read. Like I says, please let me know if I've got that wrong, and I will apologise. So yeah, I've cancelled that. I did have a subscription to Technoparrot, which is quite a cool emulator that runs sort of like modern arcade games. Again, it was one of these things, never ever played. It was only a £5 again. Cancelled that. And I looked when I found out that I hadn't actually bought the Switch 2. I thought, you know what, I'm going to cancel it. So that's what I've done, cancelled that as well. Managed to sell a few things. I've got a few other things that I'm looking to sell. I've got a Sinclair QL, which the guy that sold me that Amiga, which I subsequently took back because it wouldn't play games, he's apparently interested in it. I did have a look at the price. Yeah, they're going for, you're talking £200-300.